Okay, what we're using is to make the nose strips for the masks is roll flashing here that happens to be aluminum painted white, 10 inches wide. I'm cutting a strip off of this that's 3 3/4 inches. That will give me the length that I need. And a paper cutter seems to work pretty well for this. I've reinforced this one a little bit, but it seems to be holding up fine. Now this is my making the length of the strips here. And then, because I cut so many of these things, I've made a measuring jig. Let's get this out of the way. That I can just lift up. There's a little bit of a roll to this, so I put that up so that the edges stay down. I made a jig here that allows me to just push this through 5 millimeters or 3/16 of an inch wide is what we're making these. I used to measure every one of these, which was a pain in the neck. This jig helped me a whole lot. But you don't need to have that, and you don't need to have a paper cutter. You can use scissors, but we're making so many, this has just made it easier for me. So there's the strips there. Now what happens, these roll up a little bit, so they have to be flattened out, good TV time, and then the corners just nipped off so that when they're sewn into the mask, you don't have a completed mask here, do you? We end up with a strip that's 3 3/4 inches long, 5 millimeters or 3/16 of an inch wide, and that will form the nose piece that goes right over and bends in like a so. Right here we have a commercial mask from the auto parts store, I believe, used for auto body work. These are probably all sold out. Right here, this strip is about almost 20 thousandths wide by 12 thousandths thick. Now, what I'm making from the aluminum building material is a little thinner, 7 thousandths wide, but a little bit wider, about 2/10 of an inch wide, which makes up for the lack of strength in the thickness. Now, here's another option. This is cut from a beer can, which is pretty readily available, or any soft drink can. Now this is only 7 thousandths of an inch thick, but if it's made an inch wide to 1 1/4 inches, we can actually fold it over to make it the strength that we need. Okay, what I'm doing here is getting it ready to fold this thin soft drink or beer can, and I've marked off 1/4 inch increments. If I get it the right light, you can almost see. And I'm going to use the edge of my paper cutter, which is good and hard and sharp, as an edge to be able to fold this on, and then finish folding and crease don't need to advertise. And again, now I can just use the edge that I've already folded over as a stop. Crease again. Fold. and so on. Okay, I'm coming up to my last fold here. And I've left the whole strip here together because it's a little easier to work on the whole thing. And now that I've got that all done, I will trim it off, and that gives me my finished strip. It's a little wider, but that's okay, but it's plenty strong. And you can play with it and make them thicker or thinner or wider or narrower, but this material is plenty readily available and makes a good strip. Now, the last step in this process, like with the other ones, is to nip the corners off of this. And this is a completed mask with the nose strip sewn in with a separate strip, so it's pretty well trapped inside there and won't end up poking through the fabric.